Want to get into song number 80 on Billboard's Hot 100, June the 2nd, 1973. This is one of the most original records that ever came out. It can be inspiring, controversial, whatever. It's one of the most unusual records that ever hit the charts. It was not a hit. It could not be a hit. It was simply not commercial enough to be a hit. And the song is called A Passion Play, edit number 8. It comes in at number 80 on Billboard's Hot 100, June 2nd, 1973, up from 87. It was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 5 weeks. There were a few stations that played it, including the one that I used to listen to back in the early 70s, 1150 WJRD, and I was blown away when I heard this thing. Jethro Tull's A Passion Play is from the album A Passion Play. A Passion Play is basically, well, first off, it's a series of songs that were arranged into one continuous long playing album. It's a series of plays. It depicts a person named Ronnie Pilgrim. Ronnie Pilgrim, an everyman like me, like you, like everybody else. He dies. He dies, and this poem, this play depicts his afterlife in heaven and in hell. And first off, he goes to his own funeral. He's a ghost. He goes to his own funeral, and then he drifts off into a purgatory that's filled with desert, just sand all over the place. And there's icy wastelands as he waits the final judgment of whether he will go to heaven or to hell. He does connect with an angel who beams down at him. She smiles at him. She's very friendly. And eventually, Ronnie Pilgrim, he's escorted into a video room, and there's a jury awaiting him. Very demanding jury. They're scowling at him. They're like, all right, this better be good. Projectionist, he cuts on the machine. Ronnie Pilgrim's, the events of Ronnie Pilgrim's life are played out on the screen. After that's over, the jury deliberates, and this gets really bizarre. It's bizarre, it's long-winded, and the jury is downright sardonic, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But at the end of the day, whatever the end of the day is, they come to the conclusion that Ronnie Pilgrim had led a decent life, and he's going to heaven. But you got to listen to this, though. I got to play up. Let me bring it up for you real quick. And I got to tell you about the hare and the spectacle in just a minute. The story of the hare who lost his spectacles. That was absolutely brilliant. But here it is. Man of passion, rise again. This is the jury to Ronnie Pilgrim. Man of passion, rise again. We won't cross you out. For we do love you like a son. Of that there's no doubt. Tell us, is it you who are here for our good cheer? Or are we here for the glory, for the story, for the gory satisfaction of telling you how absolutely awful you really are? And this is where this piece is reeking of sarcasm. It's a satire of sorts, and it's open to a multitude of interpretations. A passion play. Well, he is going to heaven. Ronnie Pilgrim goes to heaven 2 days later after the judgment's passed down. But then the spring dance commences, but then it deviates. It goes off the path. I'm still trying to figure this part out, but it goes into the story of the hare who lost his spectacles. The hare who lost his spectacles is about a rabbit, about a hare, and he's got these animal friends. These animal friends, by the way, have human characteristics. There's the owl, there's the kangaroo, there's the newt, and there's the bee. And the hare has lost his spectacles. He's looking for his spectacles, and the other animals are helping the hare look for his spectacles, but they can't find it. Let me read you this part right here, though, in the hare and the spectacles. This is probably one of the most memorable lines, I thought, of the record. And it talks about the kangaroo. Oh, wait a minute. How could an intelligent hare make such a silly mistake? But all this time, Owl had been sitting on the fence scowling. A kangaroo were hopping mad at this sort of talk. She thought herself far superior in intelligence to the others. She was their leader, their guru. She had the answer. Hare, you must go in search of the optician. But then she realized that Hare was completely helpless without his spectacles. And so Kangaroo loudly proclaimed, I can't send Hare in search of anything. You can, Guru, you can, shouted Newt. You could send him with Owl, but Owl had gone to sleep. Newt knew too much to be stopped by so small a problem. You could take him in your pooch, or your pouch rather. But alas, Hare was much too big to fit into Kangaroo's pouch. All this time, or pooch rather, or pouch, all this time it had been quite plain to Hare that the others knew nothing about spectacles. That satire part comes again. Well, then we get into another act of the play, and this is when he does go to heaven. Ronnie Pilgrim goes to heaven, but guess what? He finds heaven to be a mundane place. The old people are reminiscing, and people are obsessing about the living. Now, wait a minute. What kind of place is this? Isn't heaven uh, supposed to be an epicenter, brimming with happiness, joy, compassion, elevation of the spirit, of the human spirit, or beyond the human spirit? But in this particular mythology, it's just a boring place to Ronnie Pilgrim. And there is a line about that in this poem, and I'll have to dig this out. It's sort of thrown together, this poem is. Here it is. Bear with me just a minute. Here it is. Old gentlemen talk of when they were young, of ladies lost, of erring sons, lace-covered dandies revel with friends, pure as the truth, tied at both ends. I'll go to the foot of the stairs. And he goes to God. Ronnie Pilgrim goes to God, or a godlike figure, and he frankly requests a relocation to hell. God, can you send me to hell? I just can't adapt to heaven. I can't cut it there. It's not cutting it for me. So, okay, God says, okay, if that's what you want. Ronnie Pilgrim descends into hell. And let me read you this part again. And I know I'm being redundant about this, but I tell you, this is just, this is something else. This will probably be the most original video I've ever done. And let me go down to the part where he's speaking with God. Here it is, Ronnie Pilgrim. Well, I'm all for leaving, and that being done, I've put in a request to take up my turn. And that forsaken paradise that calls itself hell, where no one has nothing and nothing is well-meaning fool. Or it might have been God talking to Ronnie Pilgrim, but anyway, Ronnie Pilgrim goes to hell, and this is when he runs into Lucifer. And this is where we get into the edit number 8 of the Passion Play, the single that was released. This is the Overseer Overture, where Lucifer engages himself into, well, he takes over. He lets Ronnie Pilgrim know that he's in charge, that he's got Ronnie Pilgrim in his icy grip. He's in hell now, and Lucifer runs hell. But Lucifer engages into this self-pity and pathos. It's almost as if he's taking perverse delight in being thrown out of the kingdom, of his fall from grace. Here it is. This is the song right here, and let me bring it up. Here it is. Colors of None. This is the Overseer Overture. This is Lucifer to Ronnie Pilgrim. Colors of none, dark or light, red, white, or blue, cold as my touch, freezing, summoned by name, I am the overseer over you, given this command to watch over our miserable sphere, fallen from grace, called on to bring sun or rain, occasional corn for my oversight grew, fell with mine angels from a far better place. And this is where we get into the Paradise Lost part, where where Lucifer was ejected from heaven. Fell with mine angels from a far better place, offering service for the saving of face. Now you're here. You may as well admire all whom living has retired from the benign reconciliation. The ones who are fallen. Well, it turns out that Ronnie Pilgrim, he doesn't like hell either. He wants to get the heck out of there. As a matter of fact, here we go again. There's a line. This, again, we get into the satire part of this. Here it is right here. Flee to icy Lucifer. Oh, he's an awful fellow. What a mistake. I didn't take a feather from his pillow. Here's the everlasting rub. Neither am I good or bad. I've given up my halo for a horn and the horn for the hat I once had. I'm only breathing. There's life on my ceiling. The flies there are sleeping quietly. Twist my right arm in the dark. Now, this part right here, he comes to the conclusion, Ronnie Pilgrim comes to the conclusion that, hey, I'm neither good nor bad. I'm all out human. I'm all out person. I've sampled. Ronnie Pilgrim has sampled the extremes of heaven and hell, and he finds himself on a beach, on a shore, perhaps of the river Styx, and he's a forager of life. He has become a forager of life, and I take this to mean that he wants to go back to life, to living, to become a living bee, and he's accompanied by other people on this beach, by animals on this beach who share the same design, to share the same ambition. And here's a quote: "Renew the pledge of life's long song." And this we get towards the end of the poem, and here it is. Let me read you another part of this thing. Boy, this is just. Let me bring this down if I can find this. Here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to find this thing. Here we go. Here it is. Magus Purdy, take your hand from off the chain. Loose a wish to steal the rain, the storm about to be. Here I am, forager into life. Tough are the souls that tread the knife's edge. Indeed it is. Break the circle, stretch the line, call upon the devil. Bring the gods on fire, and the conflict will fail. The passengers upon the ferry crossing, waiting to be born. Renew the pledge of life's long song. Rise to the reveille horn. And animals, bear with me, I got to bring this down. I'm on this computer. Animals lining at the gate that stands upon the shore, breathe the ever-burning fire that guards the ever door. Man, son of man, by the flame of ever life. And this is where, at the end of the poem, at the end of this play, it goes into, I got it down on my notes, eternal rebirth. Man, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, what the hell is all that about, Mr. DJ? What's this, 20 minutes of sermons? Are you rehearsing to be an English instructor? And by the way, that reminds me of one thing. God, I got to get on my soapbox about those English instructors. Those college professors, those English college professors, boy, they hate cliches. But I'm going to tell you this. If you're an English professor or an English instructor, you're watching this video, there is not one cliche in this poem. Not one in this play. That's got to be a strength as far as you're concerned. There is nothing contrived about this. All right, now I'm off my soapbox. But the critics, boy, they came down hard on this. Here's one. This is from a guy at Melody Maker. He said, music must touch the soul. A passion play rattles with emptiness. Quote unquote. That's from a critic with the Melody Maker at the time. Although the album itself went to #1 here in the States and in Canada. And let's see if there's anything else I need to bring up about this poem. I think I covered all the basics here. Well, if you watch this whole, I'm sure I missed some things about this, but I just hopefully I gave you the gist of what this poem is about. I've never done anything like this before as far as, I've read out song lyrics, but nothing like this. Well, anyway, number 80 on Billboard's Hot 100, Jethro Tull. The brilliant passion play, the edit number 80. That would be, once again, the Overseer's Overture, and I read you some of that earlier on. All right, well, take care. Passion play at number 80 on Billboard's Hot 100, June 2nd, 1973.